Shooting call. I heard this earlier and have to come check it out. Haven't heard anything, whether it's a homicide or just a shooting. You know, getting my pictures. You know the routine. We are catching the tail end of a fire here on British Drive in Lee Summit. Quite a few crews involved. But they've got it knocked down and out. Downtown Lee Summit. This fine June morning. It's very nice this morning. And it's a very pretty morning. Yep, it's good to have the opportunity to appreciate such a pretty spot. And the morning light, which doesn't always translate well on video, but this camera is handling it well. Very nice. But unfortunately, it's time to move on. It's that time of the week, of the day. I'm tired. Of course, I didn't get enough sleep last night. Stupid of me to stay up watching a movie with the kids. Let's get us some. I think it'll be coffee this morning. Coffee. Woohoo! Perhaps I should try recording this as well. This is our live hit. We're here in Truman Sports Complex. It's very, very windy, and we're not the only ones. Must be the hot topic of the day. See other media up on the hill testing my live streaming capability. Look at the camera, not at my screen. And here is the Mage Well, which is what I'm using. And I'm streaming from my Osmo Pocket 3. Here's our camera and our TVU. There's Royals Stadium. And there's the Chiefs. I can zoom in pretty good with this thing. It doesn't look bad. But that's what we're doing. I'm doing something different today. I'm trying out a new shop, new to me. It's called Prefix Coffee, and it's part of this complex here. Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Look around the place. I've decided I'm going to take the dogs to the dog park and for a walk. The weather is somewhat bearable. What, Spella? Where are we? What's going on, Spella? What are you getting all crazy about? What? What, Spella? What is it, Lassie? is it? Where are we? Do you see a doggy? There's a doggy over there. You see doggies over there? Oh no! Well, we're here, we're queer, get used to it. Jimmy, you ready to go? Jim, you ready to go? Come on, dongs, come on. Sniff, 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 sniff. Come on. Oh, did I catch you in a private moment, Spella? Come on. You know what's cool is you're under KCI, one of KCI's flight paths here, so not only do you get to see trains from a distance, but you can also see planes flying over, which is kind of neat to just hang out and chillax with the dogs and watch that. Are you king of the hill there, Stell? Come on, get up there. Are you king of the hill? Come on. Oh, you can do it, There you go. Heck of a job, Brownie. Woof, 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 woof. Jimmy, what about you? Want to be king of the hill? Come on, Jim. Go on, up. Go on, Jimmy, up. Just like Stella. Come on, up. There you go. Oh no! Come on, you can do it. Come on, Jim. Come on, there you go. Heck of a job, Brownie. Woof, 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 woof. Turn, face me. Hey, over here. There you go. Spella. I'm over here, Spella. There you go. Let's get the photo bomber out of the shop. Looks like we have some rain coming in. Nothing severe, just rain. You can see there's sprinkles on the windshield, the specks of dirt. This morning we're live at Anchor Island Coffee, talking about Pride Week event or Pride events. This is Pride Month. And as it is getting ready to rain, maybe, my gear is tuned in, but it's in the car still. Wait till it's time to go to actually set up and do it. I don't know, maybe we'll be inside, but this corner is interesting. This is some of the businesses here. This is Troost Avenue, which is undergoing revitalization. Some might say gentrification, but it's better than what it was. Well, we are live here, so let's go in. I've decided to try a cappuccino this morning. I ordered the chilaquiles. It sounds really, really good. Chilaquiles. It's Ryan and Station 17. Have a good ship. You'll start in Station 10. Have a good ship. The rain has caught up with us. I was hoping to take the donkeys for a walk. It'll probably peter out here. I don't know. It might be steady all day. We got rain. Rain. Come on, donks. Come on, so. Today we're braving the raindrops, trying out a place I haven't been to in a while. Wagon Trail here in North Kansas City. Come on, doggies. This park is good because you can get your exercise with your doggy. A little handy dandy trail when it's not blazing ass hot out here. But they also have the water and everything set up too. Are you pooped? Poop pups? Dogs. Oh, I think they're ready to go. North Kansas City, Missouri. This town didn't exist, I think, before the 1920s. And I could be wrong, but I think it was pretty much founded as sort of a blue-collar working town around the railroad yards and Swift Trucking and Armor Meat Packing. And this street, cross street here, is Armor, and we are on what's the street we're on? We're on Swift, Armor and Swift, and then the main street, one of the other main streets going north-south, is called Burlington, although I think to everyone else it's known as Oak Street. It's also the way the Jefferson Highway came through, and it sort of kind of zigzagged through here, actually. Well, for the most part it was straight. This is the Jefferson Highway, and then crossed over on 14th Street. And just give a little tour. And if you're hearing what sounds like a steam engine, there's ghost engines all around operating steam, like in the 1920s. No, actually, it's Jimmy here panting and sharing his bad breath with me. Right, Jimothy? You know, diabetes is rough on a dog. Rough. And he doesn't take him long to get winded and overheated. Even though today is a pretty temperate day. It says 75. But, you know, even at that, when the sun comes out, it burns you, bakes you, and the sun is coming in and out between the clouds. The humidity is high. All right, this is where Jefferson Highway would make its turn. I wish the city would mark the highway somehow, some way, and take advantage of the tourist opportunity. And then the highway would make a left here at Burlington, which we won't. And you know, one of the three industries this town was founded on. Burlington is named after the Burlington Northern Railroad, or Burlington Railroad. Sorry. Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy was its name. And then it merged with the Great Northern, became known as Burlington Northern. Great Northern was a great railroad transcontinental railroad out of Minnesota, Minneapolis. And then eventually it merged with the Santa Fe and became BNSF, or Burlington Northern Santa Fe. And there's still a lot of industry, very industrial town, and it's kind of divided, industrial, and then it has its residential area. My arm hurts. Wah. And its residential areas are pretty much like what you would expect a blue-collar residential area to look like. And one thing that's remarkable about this town is it started a little bar entertainment district / music scene, and just a little kick in the right direction and it might turn into like something that might be better than Westport. And what would be great is if you could have Westport without the problems. Now we're back on Armour and we're crossing over Swift, and this is the main street, obviously, with the downtown shopping area. And it's a pretty cute little town. It's North Kansas City. It's not Kansas City. It's its own town. My arm hurts. Wah. And the thing about this town is it's not really big either. It seems like it's a bigger metro, but I think the population is, I could be wrong, but I think the population is somewhere around 5,000. I don't know, I'd have to look that up. Why do you say things if you don't know me? For a long time it was 5,000. It could be higher. There's City Hall. There's a neat little, it's kind of like a splash park. It's free too. Kids love to go there. Here's the residential area. This little place right here, it's like a little coffee shop or whatever. The little store on Knox. I'm gonna have to try it. I've been in there once before, but not to sit and enjoy, so I'm going to do that sometime. I don't know how well the audio is coming across on this. I was using my my switcher on my phone, but I forget that it tends to overheat the phone, especially when the phone is I don't know, I can try it. Especially when the phone is on the dash. Try this again. But yeah, it frustrates me because what it does is it doesn't put an end of file marker, if you're familiar with that computer term. It used to haunt me all the time when I was in the Air Force. No end of file marker is like you just put a whole lot of work into something and then the computer shuts off without shutting down and then properly, and you don't save your work and all your work is gone like you never did it, so you have to start over. And I used to be really good at that. And it was very frustrating because I might work on a project for a week and then one day the thing would shut down. There'd be no file, there'd be a no end of file marker, which means that week's worth of work would be kaput. I guess I should learn how to just stop and start a couple of times so I don't lose all of it, but you forget. Anyway, that's one beef I have with Top Director. It needs to be able to have some sort of emergency backup like more sophisticated programs do these days, to where when your phone quits because it overheats, it'll save the project for you, or at least give you a backup file you can pull down. Even if you only lose just a little bit of your work, it's better than losing everything. But so in addition to the steam engine sound you're hearing from the dog, you're hearing a jet engine sound, which is the car's air conditioner, and I hope it's not blowing straight into my mic or it'll sound like I'm in a wind tunnel. Anyway, we're back on the Jefferson Highway, and we're gonna kind of follow it a little into crossover from North Kansas City into Kansas City. And a lot of people get confused. There's Kansas City, Missouri, which is south of the river, and north of the river, because they annexed a lot of land up north back when poverty rates were climbing in the city as slumlords were taking over everything and people were moving out of the city. And the only thing that was left in the city was people who didn't have much money to pay taxes with. Then you have North Kansas City, which is its own town. We just crossed out of North Kansas City. When you cross over the levee, you're crossed out of North Kansas City. We're now in Kansas City, Missouri, which is the Northland part of Kansas City, which everybody refers to as Kansas City North. You have North Kansas City, which is its own town, and then Kansas City North. I stopped this spiel to talk about this little area right here, the Jefferson Highway. This is very beautiful with the way the trees come over. It's a nice shady drive. In the fall it's beautiful, in the spring it's spectacular. In the summer it's great because, you know, when it's blazing hot outside, you have the archway of the trees to kind of shade you. But anyway, to get back to what I was saying, so a lot of people are very confused, in addition to the fact that there's Kansas City, Missouri, and there's a town called North Kansas City, Missouri, and then there's a town called Kansas City, Kansas. Kansas City, Kansas also didn't exist before, what, 1900 or so, maybe even later than that. Kansas City, Kansas was formed from a whole bunch of little towns that kind of conglomerated together. Like, I know Wyandotte was one of the towns, Turner, what are some of the, Argentine, Rosedale, Quindaro. They all decided to become like a super group of rock stars, but a super group of not so great rock stars. And they formed Kansas City, Kansas, Wyandotte County. Kansas City, Missouri was first, and all my English relatives get very confused. They say, here's our son and daughter from Kansas, or here's our relatives from Kansas. My granddad used to say, here's my grandson, my daughter from Kansas. And we'd correct him every time. So no, we're from Missouri, until we got tired of saying it, and they said, whatever. All right, I'm going to hit stop and start to save this work. So like I say, this is Kansas City, Missouri. This is North Oak. This is the Jefferson Highway, an old highway that existed back before they started numbering the highways. They gave them names, and they called them auto trails. And it was part of the Good Roads movement, which was actually started in the 1870s by people who rode bikes, because the hobby of bicycle riding was becoming very popular in the cities in the era before automobiles. But you would get to the city limits, and all the roads would disappear, and all that was left were the farm roads, which were essentially dirt roads or worse, mud tracks, trails. So they started the Good Roads movement, and when the automobiles came along, it took over, and people got real tired of getting to the edge of the city and finding that the only way a road was decent or taken care of was if the local farmers were doing it, because they had to get their goods to the market, and they would do this thing called macadam, which is essentially a gravel road. And that's about the best a road would get. And if the farmers didn't really care about it, then you had hardly anything. You might not even have roads, because a lot of farms would just go right up, their fence line would go right up to the property line, and then the next property would begin. So there was a great desire to petition the federal government to take it over, standardize what a good road should be, what a nice travelable road should be, and for commercial purposes. But the way they justified it, especially around World War I, was that they said, look over at Europe. They've had good roads since the Roman Empire, and armies use those roads to march back and forth. And we're at a real disadvantage if we got attacked, because our military wouldn't be able to respond very well, because there'd be no roads to go over. At the most, they would have railroads. So At about, 1912 or so, 13, Auto Trail Association started up, and Kansas City is one of Kansas City's auto trails. North-South Auto Trail was the Jefferson Highway, named after Thomas Jefferson, the president, second president of the United States. Second? Third. Yeah, it was Washington, then Adams, and Jefferson. But this road, which incidentally is considered an international road, went from Winnipeg, Canada to New Orleans, Louisiana, or Pine to Palm was its moniker. And it ran right through Kansas City. Actually, it split north of Kansas City, north of Smithville. It's slipping my mind right now. And then it's split in Kansas City. There's a route that went west through Kansas, and there's a route that went east through Missouri. And the eastern branch went all the way down to about where Route 66 starts. And then it headed west into Oklahoma and reunified with the northern branch of the western branch of the Jefferson Highway that ran through Kansas, in Kansas. So it's kind of like Kansas City's Route 66, but pre-66, and it's it's an older route. Didn't last very long, roughly about 9-10 years, and that's probably why a lot of people haven't heard of it. However, the Jefferson Highway Association it was formed in the shadow of the Route 66 Association with the same idea in mind: promote tourism and interest in local history and culture. Big pothole. And so they've really been ramping it up and kicking it into gear and doing a really good job of promoting Jefferson Highway. Their web page, or their Facebook page, is tremendous. I think their web page is pretty good too. They've got it pretty well mapped out, so you can follow it if you want. And so yeah, they're starting to try and get a lot of local businesses interested in promoting it as well. And I'd like to make that appeal to some of the local businesses that I know that are on the route, to get some stickers and put them in your doors at least, and maybe get some of the flyers and make them available for people to, if they ask about it, there it is. There's the information. But also, one of the big sticking points in Route 66 Association has had to fight with this as well, especially in Missouri, is state highway agencies like MoDOT have been very unhelpful, because I think they don't like the liability, and their budgets have been really tight. Iowa has done a great job with their highways. They've got them all marked. They've got points of interest put out. They've got information and maps and everything. But Missouri is like, for instance, if you put up a sign that's on close to the roadway, MoDOT will come and take it down, or make you take it down. They might even take you to court over it, because they say it confuses travelers. They don't want any, what they call it, competing signage. Now, Missouri is unique with their Route 66 signage in that we have the blue Missouri Route 66 signs. But when it comes to Jefferson Highway, there's been some trouble. And it's kind of a shame. You know, it kind of goes back to the days of when the government didn't want to have anything to do with anything, and it was up to farmers to maintain the roads or not. So, well, I'm hoping this will hold out. I'm coming up to the intersection where I'm going to turn off. And so I'm going to hit stop right up here. So, woohoo! It is opening day for fireworks sales here in Riverside. It's the beginning of the July 4th season. And we're here at Red X. That neon X over there reminds me of the band X. One of their videos, early videos from Decline of Western Civilization, where they're playing in front of a burning red X. Getting ready to go live here. As is another crew that just showed up. Boy, they set up fast. The passing of history and time. The old red X, which I believe grew out of a gas station in the end of World War II, is no more. Building has been demolished, and they have their brand new store on the same property but further down. There's the proximity of the fireworks tent and the new store over on the east side of the property now. There's a lot of recent history that I can remember. By recent, I mean like not that recent anymore. I are old. The flood of '93 inundated this area, and I remember coming out here all the time doing lottery stories. Excuse me, this is the first time I've done fireworks story out here. Usually we came here for lottery stories, and I remember one year in particular, kind of a notorious event. It was storming outside, and my old station had me run a long cable run by myself into the store with storms outside. Wasn't even safe, but they forced the issue, and by the time I was done, the storm was over with. But I remember storm chasing earlier that day, and then running that long cable run. Had to go from the parking lot outside the front door all the way in. I had to tape it all down, and I did it all by myself. Fortunately for me, where I work now is not like that. They're pretty nice, and you know, they would either give you the time or the help to do it. So, yeah, that's my personal history. I have not been in the new Red X yet, and maybe when they open at 7, I might go check it out if I have time. Here's the new Red X. They say X marks the spot. It's a very interesting family-run business, family-owned business. And I looked it up. It was started in 1948 out of a gas station. And this whole area has kind of got interesting history. Incidentally, Riverside was not a town when Red X was founded, and to keep the adjoining cities, Kansas City and Parkville, from seeding this area, the owner of the Red X started the drive to create Riverside as a city, and that was about 1952 or so. And there used to be a racetrack here, and you know, there was a couple of floods and a big fire that took out the Red X. I believe right around here is where the the hotel was, that motel, that Pendergast used to bring people out here. Pendergast was Thomas Pendergast was the political boss who ran the Democratic machine in Kansas City. Yeah, very, very interesting. I didn't shoot video inside the store. I usually like to ask permission of the ownership first before I do that, but they got all sorts of interesting things in there. It's now more like a grocery store than it used to be, and it's all new on the inside, so I think they've done a pretty good job with it. And today is different. I came in at 2 this morning and I'm off at 10, so I don't know what the rest of my day is going to look like here. I went into the Red X and got a sandwich. Always wanting to have a sandwich. So I got a sandwich, and then we'll see if I'm in the mood for coffee later. It's already gotten way too warm to really think about walking the doggies, which is too bad, but so busy yakety yakking, I'm not paying attention to where the lanes are in this traffic circle. And you know, there's a woman here who wants to get around me, so alrighty, let's get to getting. Tomorrow's story is on one of my favorite foods. Tamales. Tamales. Try a piece of this. I love tamales. Hold on, I gotta figure out this complicated parking system. Alright, I think we did it. We are parked. It's the first time I've ever had to do that in Kansas City. To top off the sandwich I had from Red X and the tamale I had. I'm gonna have some coffee. I love the art. What is it? I love the heart. It is the second day of my 2 to 10 shift, and we're live at Matty Rhodes for Tamale Fest. Yesterday I was talking about tamales, and I had a free one. The jalapeno was good. Hot but good. Tamales. My favorite. And we're actually inside, which is good because it's starting to rain. There's my camera set up, and we have a long time between hits. And look at the sunrise this morning. It's coming up. It's just beautiful. Yesterday was the summer solstice, so the days are going to start getting short from here on out. Woo-hoo. Into the heat of June, moonliner, and it's Friday. You know what that means, of course.
Mention this ad. You save $55 on your next service call.
Sassified. Ooh, it's hot and bright out here. This is awesome. See the rain coming down from a distance. It's a little isolated storm. There's another one, more coming down. Little thunderstorms building right over our heads. Well, actually, rain showers. I don't know if they're thunderstorms. We're just entering, going from dry to wet again. Pretty cool. Big ass raindrops. Pretty awesome. Hope this actually helps to cool things down a little too. Definitely helps to water the plants. If it rained at our house, we'll see. Huh. These are very spotty little showers. Could make the everything steamy instead of helping make everything like a sauna. Well, let's see what happened at the house. Yep, we got wet at least. Hope it doesn't turn everything into a steam bath. Yeah, you can see it's really spotty. Just tiny little pop-ups. Nothing really solid. And I don't think if you put it on dual pane you would see anything indicating that anything would be severe or about to become severe. Today is a busy Saturday. I'm shooting video for Dr. Pardo's 60th wedding anniversary. Wow, 60 years being married to somebody. That's an accomplishment. And I'm gonna get some coffee first, but I'm wondering if this place is open. Looks kind of dark inside. I don't know. I'll go try the door. Maybe I'll go to a different place. I've seen people go in, so I know they're open. It is a warm day in June. Exterior 104 degrees. North Kansas City, according to Weather Service, is 95 degrees. Only 95 degrees Fahrenheit. I needed some coffee before this evening's event. I'm doing cappuccinos now. The sugar content is low unless you add a lot of sugar to them. And the coffee content is high. I don't know what the caffeine content is, but... And they're not this fluffy, frou-frou, sugary drink. Essentially, it's an espresso with a little bit of frappe or steamed milk on top. Alright, so I'm looking for the New American Restaurant. Oh no, I gotta look it up. And so I need to get there. I want to try and get there by 4 and figure out parking and everything else. I believe it's part of Crown Center, if I'm thinking of the right place. It's on the top of Crown Center. Alright, let's get over here, park a second, and get my GPS going and get my bearings, so woohoo! This is a huge mess to get into and out of. I'm really not fond of hotels. They're not very user-friendly for guys like me. And it's just a maze. And I'm going the only way I know how to get to my car. Ugh. What a cluster. Ooh. But the event went all right, I think. Did some new things. And while we're in there, it rained. Oh, by the way, that's the restaurant up there. There's Crown Center, which is closed, of course. Rain everywhere. Rain pretty good too. A lot of water. I'm looking for the hotel entrance. That's the only way I know how to get in. And I just had a scary thought. What if the hotel entrance is around a big detour? Oh, like I say, and you know, there were a couple of things I'd like to have gotten out of the car that I had in there. Oh, maybe not. But yeah, good luck to that. I couldn't get. You can see what I have to do to get to my car. It's just a huge complex. And I just realized I'm using the exact wrong camera for this, but I figured it might still be raining. But it's not. So over there beyond this bus stop is where I gotta get. The hotel entrance, parking entrance. And then I gotta try and not get run over when I hoof it in there, because I'm going where cars go and not where people go. It's not a huge detour. You can see a walkway here. What does that sound? Oh, it's a motorcycle. I was gonna say, what is that? It sounds like a lawnmower. Oh, of course. Damn. This has also been the bane of my existence. This place was obviously built before ADA came in, because there are a lot of stairs. Now look what I have to do. I have to go through the grass, toting a wagon, which you probably can't see. Oh, this isn't too bad. There's an area here that is a curb, because there are no, the only curb cut is up there, and as you can see, people like to park in front of it. And this is what I have to be careful of. Coming around here, because this is where cars come in. Arg. Love the buzzing of the transformers. Okay, so far so good. I know I'm on orange level. So, orange parking. And where at am I on orange parking? Coming in, I was trying to find the American restaurant, and the directions that people were giving me, you know, if you have to give directions that are more than 2 or 3 steps, you're not giving directions anymore. You've lost the person. And unfortunately, everybody was so busy they couldn't just like kind of guide me. So, and it was weird how to get to where I was going. I was directed to go through Hall's Crown Center, or I mean the Hallmark store, the Hall store. And I was toting this wagon, so you can imagine how embarrassing that would be. Go through this beautiful, formal, upscale store, toting a junk wagon, basically. I'm sure the store employees and security people probably thought I was taking stuff with me. Anyway, I think we're almost there. It's around this corner up here. My car should appear. Urban exploring is fun, especially when you're exploring to find your car. Somewhere over here, I can't remember if it was this row or the next. Ooh. And it's hot, even in this parking garage. All right, where are we? You know what? All black cars look alike. That's not us. It's a Toyota Sienna over there, but it's got some sort of weird roof rack that I don't have. Somewhere, maybe my car should appear. I think I'm up against the fence over there. Oh, and I tried to park in something of a logical spot. So I thought. There it is. Yep, logical spot. Up in a corner. Where if a door is going to get bashed, it's only going to be one side. Oh, we made it to our car. Woohoo! Time to go home. I didn't make it to church this morning. It's just too much. So I'm gonna go get some coffee. Hopefully meet the fam here, because they went to church and they're meeting me here. Maybe, or at Vietnam Cafe. We'll see.
It's gonna take like 5 minutes. Is that okay? Perfect. That's okay. Thank you so much.
This will be breakfast this morning, or is it lunch or brunch? Oh, nice to know. I got vermicelli. Luce got a spinner, and everybody's finished.